Hi and welcome to my channel. In this project I investigate Oldham's long lost pubs. I found so many that I have split it into a series of videos. If you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe to my channel and check the bell to be notified when the next episode is published. And if you know of any that should be included, please let me know in the comments below and I will include them. Please enjoy. In 1939, Oldham Brewery pulled the old building down and built a new Albion. Fortunately, one of Mr. Cheatham's curiosities, a grotesque fireplace which had been in the tap room since 1846, was saved. This can now be seen in the museum on Grief Street and depicts a lawyer who pleads for all, a parson who prays for all, and the devil who takes all. Oldham Brewery bought the Albion from John Hilton about 1897. In 1936, Oldham Brewery decided to rebuild the Albion and work was completed the following year. The new pub was a 3-storey, flat-roofed affair with an electric lift to all floors and the cellars. In the early 1970s, Oldham Brewery must have been eager to raise some cash as they sold off some of their pubs on prime sites in the town. The Albion was one of these, and so it closed on the 24th of July 1972. The building was demolished in 1973, and I think a shoe store and a TV rental shop were built in its place. This pub was formerly called the Spread Eagle, but it changed its name in 1906 to the Alfonso when Princess Victoria, Queen Victoria's granddaughter, married King Alfonso of Spain in 1906. A compulsory purchase order was served in 1970 and it closed the following year, and the Alfonso and the chip shop next door were demolished for road widening. Mary Yates bought the Angel in 1881 and installed her nephew Peter Yates as manager. 3 years later, Peter and his brother Simon were in charge at the Angel and the first Yates' Wine Lodge was born. In September 1986, Yates' Wine Lodge reopened in a former bank building on Yorkshire Street at the top of Bow Street. There has been a pub on this site since at least 1896 and it was called the Apollo. Robinson's Brewery acquired it in 1929 and they decided to change the name of the Apollo, and so it became the Atlas Hotel. The pub survived for another 30 years and in that time saw no fewer than 20 licensees come and go. By the 1960s the area was in decline and buildings were being demolished for road widening. The Atlas was closed in August 1970 and was demolished in April 1972. While the public baths were being built, another building was taking shape on the corner of Union Street and Clegg Street. This building belonged to James Taylor and it was completed in 1854, the same year as the public baths. The baths opened in June, but Mr. Taylor had to wait until August the 24th when the Bath Hotel was granted a public house licence. In 1981, plans were being made for road improvements in the area. The corner of Leeds Road and Glodick Road was to be enlarged, and so the Black Horse had to go. Brian Lewis closed the doors for the last time in early 1984 and then moved to the Alexandra on Durker Street. Another noted tenant of the Black Horse Wearmouth was Oliver Parkinson, who in the 1980s introduced live entertainment on certain nights and on Sunday lunchtimes. Oliver had the wall between the front and back parlours knocked down to make a bigger room. New ladies' toilets and emergency exits were also installed. The last tenant of the Black Horse was Maureen Bamford, who took over in August 1990 and continued the tradition of rock and blues concerts until the pub shut on the 12th of There has been a pub on this site since at least 1825. The Black Horse was renamed to Turpins because legend has it Dick Turpin rode a Black Horse on the 7th of August in 1982. The Black Swan, first recorded in 1811. In 1971, John Willie Lees modernised the Black Swan, combining the mixed room and the tap room to form a large lounge. It was the meeting place for the Royal Navy and the Royal Marines Association until they moved to their own club in 1991. Today the Black Swan is a busy pub which offers accommodation. The Bridgewater, first recorded in 1836. In the late 1960s, new roads were being planned, and it was decided that some road widening was needed in Hollingwood. The corporation issued compulsory purchase orders in anticipation of a rush job. In 1992, nearly a quarter of a century later, quite a number of the corporation's plans have been completed, except for the road. James Haslam took out a licence for the Britannia Inn in 1808. Hollings Road was then the main road from Manchester to Oldham, turnpiked in 1735, so the inn may have existed earlier under another name. This was one of my The Brown Cow. There was an inn on this site from at least 1736. Here are a group of revellers waiting for a yellowish charabanc. The last licence was Fred Hall, who took over in 1967 and ran the Brown Cow until January 1970 when it closed. A lot of the information from this video I got from this excellent book by Rob McGee. And please don't forget, like and subscribe. Locals.